You shouldn't do that when someone else is in THR room. Okay then. Back in high school, I used to help my dad out around the church that he was the head pastor of. We happened to be in the restroom at the same time, and I let rip an extremely loud and rancid fart. He looked at me and said, "Carl, you really shouldn't do that when someone else is in the room." I was a little shocked, because the restroom is obviously the best place to do it, but I knew what to do. I waited for him to leave his office to pick up something from the printer. Ran in, and let another one rip. He walked in and just stared at me. So I said, "What? You said not to do it when someone else was in the room." Thankfully he thought what I did was funny. But he did decide to work at the conference table instead of his office for the next little while. At work, once me and a work buddy went into the restroom. I stood at the sinks while he took a piss at a urinal. I let the longest wettest fart go, then loudly said, "Ugh, that Jack in the Box last night is really saying hello again." There was a guy in a stall who started laughing hysterically, which got me and my buddy laughing. My buddy then said he was laughing too hard and was pissing on his shoes, which then made me and unknown stall guy laugh even harder. Then the stall guy in gales of laughter dropped a really loud deuce, which just set us all off the edge. Ha 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 ha, don't fart in the bathroom? Are you kidding? That's a weird thing for him to be embarrassed by. This and all the comments reminds me of that King of the Hill episode where Bobby ate all the lutefisk and burned down the church because he was lighting matches in the bathroom to try and disguise the smell of what came out. Reminds me of something that was malicious but not at all compliant. One of my old jobs required a maintenance team covering the site 24/7, but each evening if any of the guys had a flatulence problem, he would go and talk to the shift manager in his office, drop a stinker and shut the door on his way out. I'm a simple man, farts are hilarious. Take my upvote. Not the kind of Holy Spirit I was expecting to read about. Unleash the demons! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Where the F are you supposed to fart if not in the bathroom? CARRRRRRRRRRLLLLLLL. Oh man, that stinks. It's a church, so technically Jesus is in every room. That one time, back when I still ate wheat, which by the way is a thing that causes people not to want to be in the same room as me, and when it was still barely legal for several workers to ride in the back of a pickup truck to get from the time clock to the work site, my prior night's meal decided to start talking to me, although the pickup truck was only going the yard limit of 5 miles per hour, and the wind was traveling faster. The wind I broke changed the minds of the several other workers in the back of said pickup truck, from an easy ride to an easier, albeit fraught, walk. That time, I rode alone. I was taking my daughter back to college and my brother was along for the ride. Him in the front, her in the back seat. There was a nasty fart ripped. Immediately I slapped my brother across the chest and asked him accusingly why he did that. He denied it, leaving the guilty one in the back seat. I was proud of her and mad at him for not taking the blame for his niece. We laugh about it now, but she has never fessed up to it to this day. I know she was embarrassed, but I don't know how she kept a straight face after releasing that kraken loose in the car. I even looked after in the mirror. Not a smirk or anything from her. As a former server, church people were the worst tippers of all time. Unless it was a chick tract. I got a ton of them. When I was 18 I worked in a warehouse on third shift. One night I had the literal worst gas of my life. To this day. And I was letting out the most deadly farts all night. It got so bad that my lead made me work by myself across the warehouse. I ended up becoming really good friends with one of those guys, and we still talk about it, tears of joy. As a young fella, I was a master of the silent but violent. Many are the times I walked behind a group of people and let one go quietly while being a long way away when they noticed. Crop dusting was what we called it. One time I was getting on a bus and let off a silent killer as I handed over my ticket before going to a seat. A few minutes later, the driver said to the guy in the seat behind him, "Did you smell the fart that hot chick did? She was behind me." The other guy said, "It really stank." Driver said, "Yes. But she did it with such style and grace that I didn't have the heart to say anything." Quote, I had a male coworker. He was a big guy. 6 feet 4 inches 300 pounds. He said when he went into a crowded men's public bathroom it sounded like a mariachi band warming up to play the Tijuana Brass. I laughed again now picturing it. Tears of joy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.